Hello! Thank you so much for taking time out of your day to check out this video. Welcome to the Gridiron. And before we get started, I just want to say thank you so much, everyone out there who's been watching my videos. Thank you. If you can maybe give this video a thumbs up or possibly leave a comment below, maybe even share this video, it would mean so much to me. But at least anyway, just thank you so much for taking time out of your day to check out this video. Thank you. Well, now this one's going to be a little interesting here. The free agent tight ends. A little interesting, okay? So, Evan Ingram is a free agent. We had him for 5 years. He was very cost effective, last year. But, I mean, if Shane wants to get rid of $40 million, now, I mean, it's, getting rid of Evan Ingram's not saving any money. I mean, he's just gone. He doesn't count toward our cap. We still need to cut $40 million. So, I mean, he might also look possibly, Shane to cutting maybe Kyle Rudolph. It would in the long run, it would save us $5 million. Kyle Rudolph's salary is $7.4 million, but it is like a $2.4 million dead cap hit. So if we would get rid of Kyle Rudolph, it would save us $5 million. Also, I'm just throwing up, suggestions out here. Nothing's written in stone, but I mean, if we got rid of Caden Smith, it would save there's no dead cap money with him, I believe. I think it's just you get rid of him, it's $2.5 million. So between the two, you'd be saving $7.5 million. That's a nice chunk of change there. But now who are your tight ends? I'm not even sure if Rice and John's still on our practice squad or not or whatever. But I mean, I don't know if you want to be going into the season with Rice and John. Levine Toilolo, I believe he's a free agent. So I mean, you look at like if Toilolo, hard time saying anything. Free agent. Ingram's a free agent. I said, if you're getting rid of Caden Smith and Rudolph to save some money, I mean, right? We got Chris Myrick. All right. Chris Myrick just signed a deal yesterday, actually, all right, for his $825,000. All right. But, you want those, yeah. Is that who you want to have your tight end to be? You know what I mean? Maybe Rice and John if he's still on the practice squad, or Chris Myrick. I mean, going into the season. Because I mean, they're trying to see what they're doing with Daniel Jones. I mean, I don't think they'd want to pick up his 5th-year option. I don't think. Right? It's like give the man some help. I mean, how many years are you supposed to give him? Give the man some help, and see what he can do. I mean, do you want to, pay his 5th-year option, and he still stinks, or he's still not going to make it, or whatever? And you still have to look for a quarterback, and now you're on the ropes. Yeah, I don't know what the 5th-year option would be. It would be very affordable as far as quarterbacks, but do you want to? Right. So I mean, it's like you're going to try to help Daniel Jones out to see what he can do, to see if you want to keep him, pay some money to keep him long term, sign him long term. But then it's like, if you don't give him anybody to throw the ball to, it's like, what are you doing? All right. So I mean, now there are a few decent tight ends in the draft. Now, no, I don't. Well, there's one guy possibly in the first round, but I mean, ain't nowhere near where the Giants are picking in the first round. There's about 10 guys that I saw, like maybe late 1st to 3rd or 4th. I mean, there's some nice. There's no Kyle Pitts out there, all right. But I mean, there's some nice, decent tight ends out there. I'll be doing, when it comes time for, soon, in about a month or so, and I'll just start going over tight ends and wide receivers and the running backs in the draft and everything. But I mean, the Giants certainly could, without question, in 2nd, 3rd, or 4th round, pick up a tight end. Absolutely. I don't know what kind of, it'll be able to take the place of of an Evan Ingram, because I mean Evan Ingram can be a mismatch. I mean, but I don't know if you're going to want to go in with a rookie tight end into the season and maybe Chris Myrick. And I do see there's I see quite a few reports. All right, saying that the Giants should consider re-signing, I guess you would want to put it, Evan Ingram. Now, according to Sport Track, all right, his market value is only $6.7 million. As a Gordon Spot Track, all right, it was showing like a 4-year deal around $27 million. Now, I don't know if he has, I mean, you guys want to get paid. I mean, it's their first big payday and all that stuff and everything, and I mean, I don't know if he has thoughts of making double digits per year. I don't know, but I mean, just Spot Track. That's all. It says he's around $6.7 million. All right. So he has stayed healthy the past couple of years, relatively. All right, and maybe with Dable's offense, I'm going to go over and toward the end of this video, like some stats. All right, especially with Caden Smith too. All right, now so maybe with Dable's offense, maybe he starts doing well. Maybe he starts taking off a little bit if they were to sign him. But you got to remember, I mean, if you're going to spend $6 or $7 million for him, we're going to need let's just say we get $40 million in cap money. You're going to need 15 to 18, somewhere around there, to sign your draft picks. The biggest reason is because you got the top 2 of the top 7. Now those guys, they're going to cost you some money. That's almost half of your cap hit right there. Your cap as far as your rookie class. And then those 2 top, pick number 5 and pick number 7, unless he trades back. But then again, if he trades back, he's going to get more draft picks. So if he trades back and he gets somebody else's first, say he goes back to number 11, well, now that'll be cheaper than pick number 5. But now you're going to be paying number 11 salary, and then you might get a second rounder, just say. So now you're paying a second round of salary, so that between that first and that second, it might be equal to maybe pick number 5. So, but I mean, if we get $40 million in cap space, and you wind up spending just say $17 million for the draft picks, that leaves you $23 million. So if you spend $6 or $7 million for Evan Ingram, now you're down to $17 million, $16 million in cap space. I mean, they got to sign other guys. I mean, just to fill out the roster, even guys, even for the minimum. Plus then that's not going to leave you much at all as far as any money going into the season. I mean, you can obviously, there's always a will, there's a way, obviously. I mean, you can restructure like Leonard Williams' contract, maybe add another year on or something, and bring his cap hit down this year a decent amount. You can do that maybe with some other guys as well too. I mean, there's always a way to get a million or two here or there. But I mean, as I said, if you want him spending $6 or $7 million on a tight end, that's not going to leave you much money for anything else. Now, as far as do you want to spend $6 or $7 or $8 million on a tight end, or do you want to maybe go out there and maybe get a good guard? I don't envy Joe Shane. Really don't envy him. Now, so $6 or $7 million, wouldn't be bad. It would be doable for the Giants, but that'd be a nice chunk of the available. Probably be about, if they got $40 million, $6 or $7 million would be about 25% of the cap money that they have left over after they pay their rookie class. So. Now you got to remember, I mean, everybody's saying Ingram. I'm reading some reports. Ingram should be the top priority for the Giants to re-sign and all this and everything. But you got there's no ties to Shane. I mean, if there's no ties to Judge. I mean, if Gettleman was still here, Gettleman didn't even sign him, so he ain't got ties to nobody. I'm just thinking Gettleman signed. No, that was Jerry Reese's last class, the 17. Yeah, so Gettleman came in 18. So he ain't got ties to nobody. So, I mean, I don't know how much of a top priority he is for Shane. Now there are quite a few. There are, there's a whole bunch of tight ends out there. That are available in free agency, and the Giants wanted to obviously go that route if they wanted to maybe pass on Evan Ingram and maybe pick up another tight end. I mean, there's the price range is I've seen you got Zach Ertz. He was like $8.5 million. I mean, he was like maybe the top guy as far as the free agents. All right, there's are other tight ends obviously out there that make him more money, but I'm just saying as far as tight ends, Zach Ertz, he's going to be 30. He's 31. He's going to be 31 years old. He's $8.5 million. So I mean, even if you get him to be 6 or 7, that's still a lot of money. He's older. How long are you going to have him for? I mean, is he's 31? Is he? He's going to be, getting worse. Evan Ingram is still relatively young. I mean, he's still in the prime. He's not peaking. He's not going to be getting worse. So he's in the prime. So if you're going to spend some money on a tight end, Evan Ingram just might be the way to go. Now there is Dalton Schultz out there from the Cowboys. Now he had a really nice season. He was 78 catches for 808 yards. All right. He was only being paid $728,000. Now his market value, according to Spot Track, so this is going to pretty much knock him out of the Cowboys, probably, because they got money spent. But I mean, it's definitely knocking him out of the Giants. I mean, his market value, according to Spot Track, is $12.6 million. So you can forget about him. But now the thing is, like with him, is he that good, or is it the Cowboys offense? I've so many times, Dak will be, dropping around, and, this, that, and then he sees Dalton, and he throws in Dalton Schultz is staying wide open. It's is he that good? I mean, or is it just everybody else is paying attention to Zeke, maybe paying attention to Dak? Is Dak going to scramble? Maybe they're paying attention to Amari Cooper. Maybe they're paying attention to ABCD Lamb. Maybe Wilson. Maybe Gallup. They're paying attention to those guys, and that's why Schultz is wide open. It'd be interesting to see, because when he goes to another team, quite possibly, and he goes from 78 receptions down to 40, or whatever. Probably was the Cowboys. Right, but I said, it's very interesting to see where he goes and how much he wants to get paid and how much he winds up producing when he goes with that new team. I said that Jimmy Graham's out there. I mean, he was making $8 million. He's 35 years old. I wouldn't even bother wasting. He didn't have a very good season at all. I mean, he should think about retiring. Rob Gronkowski, he's 33. Going to be 33. He was making $8 million. I wouldn't even, we're trying to get younger here, not older. CJ Uzama, he was 29. He was making 6.1, but his market value is 8.2, so that kind of puts him out of the Giants' range, I would believe. Eric Ebron is 29 years old. He was making $6 million. I mean, there's Gerald Everett. He's 28. He was making $6 million. I mean, some of these guys like Ebron and Everett, if you're going to maybe think about taking those guys, I would almost rather have us go back with Ingram, just personally. Jared Cook with the Chargers, he had a nice season last year, but it was a Justin Herbert throwing him the football. He had 48 receptions, 564 yards. He was only making $4.5 million, but he's 35 years old. O.J. Howard, right? He's only 27, but he only caught 14 balls last year. He was only making 2.7. He's young, 2.7, affordable. David Njoku, he'll only be 26. He was with Cleveland. He had 36 receptions, 475 yards, but he was only making $2.3 million. Right? He's still young. Right? That's affordable. Then there's Mike Gesicki. With Miami. Now, he had a great year. He had 73 receptions, 780 yards. Now, he was making 1.6, but now, once again, according to Spot Track, his market value is $11 million. So you can pretty much forget him. Now I don't know if he's going to wind up doing the same. You know, him and Tua, they had a nice connection going there last year for sure. Now, it winds up, if Miami re-signs him or if he winds up going someplace else, it'd be interested to see if he has that same much success as he did last year with Miami. You know, so I mean, you know, there's those guys. There's a whole. There's a boatload of guys out there you can pick up for under $1 million. I mean, the same thing with I did the running back video, yesterday. I mean, there's a boatload of running backs, and there'll always be running backs out there. Same thing with tight ends. You can always find tight ends. I mean, obviously you want to find good ones, but I mean, if you need a tight end, they're out there. So now we have under contract. We have Jake Houseman, we have Chris Myrick, we have Kyle Rudolph, and we have Caden Smith. All right. So if Shane is looking to drop some salary, all right, Smith and Rudolph might wind up going. Now, do we want to start the season with Chris Myrick, who has has one touchdown this year? Do we want to start the season with Chris Myrick, who has 3 career receptions, and Jake Houseman, who has 0 career receptions, as our starters? Yeah, no. So if we keep Rudolph and Caden Smith, well, that's fine. But now you're gonna have to find money from someplace else. You're gonna have to get rid of guys from another source. I'm saying, if you get rid of Smith and Rudolph, there's $7.5 million right there. That's a nice amount of money. Now, as far as with Evan Ingram and with Caden Smith, I mean, you gotta. Hopefully, Shane looks at. Looks at this stuff. I mean, because I got right here, I got Evan Ingram and Caden Smith's stats pulled up. Okay, now, let's see. With Ben McAdoo, 2017, Ben McAdoo calling the plays, 2017, right? Evan Ingram had 64 receptions, 722 yards, 6 touchdowns. Now, this year his drop percentage was under 10%. It was 8%. Okay, his rookie year he had like 14%. So his drop percentage he's gotten better. He has gotten better, and he stayed relatively healthy. This year he played in he missed like 2 games, I think. So he stayed relatively healthy, and in 2020 he played in every game. So the past 2 years, Evan Ingram has only missed 2 games. So, all right, 2020 his drop percentage was very bad. This year it has gotten better. But just show you is that. 2017, he had 64 receptions. He played in 15 games. That was with McAdoo calling the plays. All right. Then we go. I'm just gonna go to 2019. Shermer calling plays. Because Ingram got hurt, he only played in 8 games. He played in half the season. Shermer's last year here, he had 44 receptions in half the year. If he played the whole season, he'd have 88 receptions. With Shermer calling the plays. All right, this past year, he played 15 games with the Clapper. He had 46 receptions. Now, Shermer's last year, if he had played he would have had 88. This year, in 15 games, he had 46. So he would have had almost 40. He would have had like 40 more receptions when Shermer was calling plays. 40 more in one season than he was with the Clapper. I mean. And in 2020, he had a nice season. He played every game, right? He had 63 receptions. He only had 1 touchdown, right? But I mean, it's just it just seems like when he's other people calling plays, other systems in there and all, right? I mean, seems like he was doing better. I mean, because we didn't have stellar offenses in 2017, 2018, 2019. I mean, we didn't really have banner offenses, and so maybe we got Dable coming in there. Maybe we can get something. If we sign Evan Ingram, maybe we can get something out of him. I mean, if we get a good system around him, quite possibly. All right, then I'm going to go to Caden Smith. Now, same thing here. Right now, his first year, 2019, with Shermer calling plays. Caden Smith, Shermer calling plays. He only played 9 games. He had 31 receptions. 31. 9. First year with the Clapper in 2020, Caden Smith played in 15 games. He only missed one game. 15 games. He had 18. So the first year with the Clapper, 15 games, 18 receptions, like one per game. With Shermer calling plays, 9 games, 31 receptions. Like 3.5 receptions a game with Shermer. 3.5. With the first year with the Clapper, 1 reception a game. And this past year, he had problems with his knee, so I'm not exactly sure. I mean, every week he was listed as a problem with his knee. He only played 9 games. They shut him down toward the end of the season because he had problems with his knees. But this year, he had 3 receptions. That's all he had. He had 3 touchdowns in his first season with Shermer. His past 2 seasons with the Clapper, no touchdowns. So the past 2 seasons with the Clapper, he's had 21 receptions in 2 seasons. 21 in 2. He had 31 in 1 season with Shermer. So, you know, I mean, Shane's got a lot. You know, it's a tricky field he's trying to navigate here, because it's like, you know, do I get rid of these guys to save money? But then it's going to possibly look what they could possibly do if we have a good offense in there. Because, I mean, with Caden Smith, 2019, 2021, I mean, Daniel Jones is throwing the football. It's not Eli Manning. Tom Brady wasn't throwing the football. It was Daniel Jones. So, I mean, you know, with Daniel Jones throwing the football, Caden Smith, 31 receptions in his rookie season and 3 touchdowns. He caught the game-winning overtime reception against Washington. He had 2 touchdowns against Washington. So, I mean, so he's got his work cut out for him. The same thing with Kyle Rudolph. Kyle Rudolph had a horrible season this year. Was it the offense? Or was, you know, I mean, you know, Clapper's offense? Or, you know. So, I mean, Shane's he's got his work cut out for him. I really don't envy him all. But, I mean, the reports I saw with the Giants possibly maybe having to think about maybe re-signing Evan Ingram may not be such a bad idea after all. Well, as always, guys, thank you so much for taking time out of your day to check out this video. You guys stay safe out there and go Giants! Woo!